But I want to thank you, Shannon, because when I saw that I was coming back here with Karen, who we ran around a lot of time, I was in New Hampshire quite a bit, and then the opportunity that a few years back, Shannon offered, again, because I'd known Shannon for quite some time, and I got to see her pictures of the little kidlets, because they got to be all big and grown right by now. Not quite out of the house, not that grown. She said they're driving, but they can't shoot the gun yet. When I saw that was on my calendar, I was just very thankful to be able to come up and just share with you, because it's been a little quiet, I suppose you could say, after the election. People were very discouraged, and I think in your state you were pretty perplexed by what occurred here. And so I wanted to really encourage you. So I said, well, I'm going to make the time to get up there, even though we are in the middle of some very aggressive campaigns ourselves at CURE, the nonprofit I run. Some of you don't know my story. You might have just heard for the first time the things I just told you that are in my autobiography, because, you're either Foxaholic, so you see me on Fox, and, you say, oh, wow, you look so much prettier in person. I said, well, thank you. And then, or you're one of my readers. I write for Scripps News Service. We have 300 papers across the country and the websites, and so people see me in a little box, and then they'll come up to me and say, wow, you're an interesting character, and we didn't know all these things about you, but you sure are prettier in person. I say, oh, thank you. I said, well, you're getting younger every day. I'm like, no, I'm actually not getting younger. I have 2 grandchildren. Now I'm 56 years old, but I'm changing the image of the Republican Party. And it's just, I kind of just keep moving younger, because we just keep messing up, I suppose. But I do run a nonprofit, and some of my supporters in the room, and we have been very aggressive this year. As I told the people in the reception, I saw the quote of Douglas General MacArthur that we're not retreating, we're just advancing in another direction. And after losing the congressional and going back to Washington and recovering my organization, and then my own election, and then after us losing the national election, I knew that God would do something. I just wasn't sure what it is. You just kind of stay open for it. And here, after 40 years of wandering in the wilderness, we do have Gosnell. We have an opportunity to shine a spotlight for the first time in 40 years what has been happening inside of these abortion clinics. That there have been many that have said, we know what's going on in there, you guys, we need help. But now it's in the national spotlights. And I think that the left is unraveling as a result of this blood that's been on their hand for a long time. And that's some of the opportunity we have through other areas, through the Benghazi story, through the IRS story, through the AP story, and how they all touch each other. And we've been very aggressive as an organization, not just on the Gosnell, which we're working on and probably will through the summer until we have our big policy summit with Dr. Ben Carson in September. But yeah, he's been on our board, and he's fabulous. I'm just glad he finally said, okay, it's time. But we also, we're working on Gosnell, we're working actually to try to get the investigations and hearings open. And so while I'm here, there are quite a few people across the country making phone calls to the governors to let them know that they should notify their AGs and their public health departments to answer the questions from the Senate committee, and also from the House committees. 2 committees have asked them some very specific questions, so we're helping with that.
GrokTV.